I'm telling you people, the Earth revolves around the sun.
Burn him!
What a story!
You've stolen my soul!
Building San Miguel TV, Shalom. Do you believe in the flat earth model or spherical model? Excellent question. I don't subscribe to a flat earth model from today's perspective. However, the ancient worldview of how the world was shaped was a dome-shaped model, right? It was a circular flat earth, if you want to call it that, with a dome that covers it, right? That's how they looked at it. Even if you go to Better Sheet chapter 1, where it talks about the firmament in the heavens, that is something that is hammered out or fixed into a particular position in almost of a dome type structure. All right. So that's the worldview of them back then. And I understand that worldview. So when I dive into the text, I understand the text based on their perspective. However, when looking in contemporary times, I have a different perspective, and I try to find a way to harmonize the two, because you can do that. That's the objective, to holistically harmonize the two.
I mean, Divine Prospect is supposed to be a brother of science. You know, he doesn't fall for the bullshit like a lot of these Black Hebrew Israelites out here just believe that everything is a conspiracy theory. But because he believes in the Bible, he has to start with that presupposition that the Bible is true no matter what. And that's a confirmation bias. And he's saying you can harmonize the two. What Divine Prospect is saying there, that you can harmonize the two, is pretty much harmonize the bullshit in the Bible with what the real truth is, with what the science really says, that the earth is not a flat, damn dome-shaped, whatever the hell you want to call it, man. That's bullshit.
Confirmation bias is one of the most solid empirical findings in psychology. If I have a belief or an attitude, I will search for instances that confirm what I believe. And also, I'll find myself in a company with a lot of other people who think the same way as I do.
Recently, we carried out an experiment to test the rotation to the Earth. If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000.
You start at point A, and then you do some kind of process of collecting evidence, of thinking, or whatever you want, and you end up at a conclusion, point B, that you believe is true, okay? Science is the arrow. That's all science is the arrow. Science is a process to get to conclusions.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15-degree-per-hour drift. Now, obviously, we were taken aback by that. Wow, that's kind of a problem, right?
But there's a whole other way to think, which is that you start at B. You start at the conclusion, and you say, I have to find evidence that shows that this is true.
You're not looking for data to try to prove you wrong or refine your position, right? You're trying to look for all the data that proves you right.
You'll cherry pick until you find evidence that appears to be an arrow, a logical arrow to your dogma.
We obviously were not willing to accept that, and so we started looking for ways to disprove that it was actually registering the motion of the Earth, and that it in fact was registering the motion of the sky. So the next thing that we set out to do was to encase the fiber optic gyro in what's called a zero Gauss chamber, to see if we could actually shield the energies being generated by the heaven. And we were unsuccessful with that, unfortunately. So the next thing that we're going to try is encasing the entire apparatus in bismuth. If everything works well, I'd like to release it at the conference.
If there's not anything that you can say, anything you can show me that could make me believe, oh, I guess I'm wrong, it's not falsifiable anymore. It doesn't make any sense for a scientist to argue with that kind of thinking.